morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome in. We've got some NBA to talk about again tonight. We can recap last night too. Just disgusting things happened last night. It makes me sick. So we can talk about that. And then we also have some golf. RBC Heritage is this week. And if you guys don't know, I've played at Harbor Town. RBC Heritage is arguably my favorite tournament that's not a major. So if we take out the Masters, US Open, British Open, and PGA Championship, I honestly think RBC Heritage is like my favorite tournament. I love it. I love the course. They kind of ruined it, like with it being right after the Masters, but with it being elevated event, with the payout, there's still some pretty, there's a lot of big name golfers playing. We'll talk about it a little bit as well. We'll give out some plays. Tough hooks. Yeah. I mean, first of all, so we'll start with the good. The good is 3-unit play, Warriors, Knicks, money line. That is still in play. Warriors won. Knicks play this weekend. All good there. We took 2-unit Magic and Paolo Banchero. If you would have told me prior to that game yesterday, like on the stream, if you would have told me that Paolo Banchero scored 17 points and Franz Wagner scored 13 points, I would have thought that the Orlando Magic lost that game by 15 points because the Magic are very limited offensively and they struggle when their few good offensive players don't score the basketball, which is what happened last night. Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner. So if you would have told me before the game that those guys combined for 30 points, I would have said they probably lost the game. Little did I know Cole Anthony looks like prime, like Jamal Crawford, 6th man of the year off the bench, 26 points. Guy could not miss. And then Anthony Black was on fire as well, hit a couple big threes. So I don't really know. That was a weird game. I knew the Magic were going to win, but it's just unfortunate. Like I thought Paolo scoring was pretty secure, and that was not the case. So that was unfortunate. And then the night game, I mean, we had overs on Ja Morant, which we're going to easily hit, and then he gets hurt. Nothing I can do about that. Nothing anyone can do about that. Just unfortunate. And then Santi Aldama, we had him 15-plus points. He scored 14. We had him over 1.5 threes. He hit 1. If you would have told me before the game, again, he scored 14 points, I would have assumed he hit 3 threes, 4 threes. Turns out he didn't do that. So just weird. I don't know. Just weird stuff was going on last night. We'll let it roll off our back. We'll get on to tonight. Yeah, I don't know, Guru. I mean, I guess he brings some energy for them off the bench, but that was crazy, man. I mean, 26 points off the bench. I don't even know. Let's just look at Cole Anthony here. I want to pull up his game log because I can't believe he did that. He hasn't scored 26 points since February 3rd and January 12th, December 21st. So he's good for like one of those a month, apparently. I don't know. That was crazy. But all right. So we're going to talk. We'll do golf first real quick, and then we'll get into the NBA games. So for golf this week, I have how I'm going to play this is looking at just the numbers. I'm pretty surprised that Scottie Scheffler has not been more in the mix for one of these tournaments because statistically, his numbers are pretty close to what they were last year. He just hasn't been putting together, I guess, full rounds. Like he really never felt, once we got to the weekend, never really felt like he was in the mix for the Masters, even though his score, I mean, he was right there, but never really felt like he was challenging. And then if you think back to, like the players, it was kind of the same situation. Like some of these bigger tournaments recently, the one in Texas where him and Rory played, it's like he just hasn't really felt like he was in the mix to win, even though statistically he's right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my bigger bet on him this week. I'm gonna put 2 units on Scotty to win, and then that's gonna free us up. There's some longer shots that I like that I'm gonna take as well. So Scotty Scheffler is gonna be a big play for me this week. I think he'll put it together and finally get his first win of 2025. For the longer shots, you guys know where I'm going with this. We bet him every single week. Sepp Straka grades out really well for this tournament as well. Coming off a miscut at the Masters where he fell apart on his last 2 holes of the day to miss the cut. Pretty unfortunate, but looking for a bounce back here in a course that sets up well for him. So Sepp Straka. Daniel Berger, I'm interested in as well. Someone that we've bet on him a couple times this year. He's been playing really good golf. Someone that I've liked, like, long-term, big fan of his. I'm glad that he's back playing good golf. So we'll put Daniel Berger in the mix here. Matt Fitzpatrick is going to be on my card. So this is more of just, you could consider this a fishy bet just because the form really just has not been there for quite some time for Matt Fitzpatrick. I don't know. He's had so many issues with his clubs and mentally, I think, on the golf course too. He started out kind of decent at Augusta last week and then faded. But if you know anything about Matt Fitzpatrick, he plays well at this course. He's very familiar with this course. So Matt Fitzpatrick at 80-1. I'll take. Yeah, Ryan. It's probably how I'll bet these longer shots this week since I'm going pretty heavy on Scotty. All others, I'll probably bet each way 5 places. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically taking your bet amount and splitting it between the outright number and then the top 5 numbers. So I'll probably put like a third of a unit on them, but then, half of that is going to be on them to win the tournament outright. Half of it is going to be on them to finish top 5, just in case, they're up there on Sunday and then things don't work out. You can still hit a little bit of a payout, but I feel pretty confident. I really think Scotty is going to win this. So that's my pick. But I do like these guys, and like Fitzpatrick plays really well here, 80-1, feels pretty good. And then if we look at, his top 5, if I can find that. Scroll down here. Like it's 14-1. So like you would still get a little bit of a payout there if he comes top 5 and doesn't win. And then I have two longer shots as well. So bigger card this week for me, but that's because I'm putting a big amount on Scotty, so I'm going to kind of pepper around him. I usually don't play this many guys, but this is also like my favorite non-major tournament, so I'm going to have some fun. First of which is Tom Hoge here at 100-1. So that'll be outright and then the top 5 as well. And then one of my other guys, I actually have him. We have a FSGA golf league. So last week, on Wednesday last week, we showed off, the FSGA baseball leagues, which is 14 teams. It's all like people that work for, big companies in the space. It's really competitive. We have a golf league of that. And I've had Rio on my team here for the entire season, but he's played really well basically for all of 2025, and he rates out pretty well in my model for this course as well. So Rio Hisatsune is going to be another long shot for us, 200-1. So like, this is why I'm comfortable adding this many guys, just because these are such, extreme long shots. But I mean, Rio theoretically could come top 5. I would not be shocked, but hopefully we can just get one of these guys in the mix on Sunday with Scotty, and then I would feel pretty confident about it. So those are the golf plays. Really excited to watch this tournament. And like I said, if If you guys are just getting into golf this year, or if you don't watch a lot, I would recommend watching this. The course is beautiful, and it's a really fun tournament to watch. All right. NBA, there's a couple plays I like tonight, and then we can kind of talk through the games. Curious what the chat's thought is. So, who do you guys like, Heat or Bulls? Because I have a team I like, and then there's a play I like within the game. But curious what you guys think. I've kind of seen mixed feelings on this, I guess. I was assuming that the Heat would just be very popular play because it's Eric Spoelstra. It's the Heat in a big game. It's a short spread. They're actually slight dogs. So coming into it, I was kind of assuming, a lot of people would be on the Heat. But I'm curious, if you're in the chat right now, Heat, Bulls, who do you guys like for this game tonight? Because I'm pretty firm on what I like. We can definitely lock in Celtics sweep. Yeah, so Guru, that's actually funny because I saw a lot of people, like not just one or two, I saw multiple people after the game last night talking about how the Magic are a tough match, like the Magic match up really well against Boston, and like I do agree in theory they match up well because they have big wing guys like Paolo, Franz Wagner, like they can match up with Tatum and Brown. And I do agree with that. So, let me preface this by saying I'm not saying anyone that said that is wrong, but like you pointed out, Guru, it's like they really just don't have it on the offensive end. The Celtics can just hit you scoring so quickly. I don't think the Magic have any hope of keeping up with that. I do think the Magic could win one game. So I don't know if I'll bet sweep. I don't know if I'll bet anything in the series. The total games is 4.5. It's slightly juicy to the over. I do think there could be 5 games, but I think one game is the maximum for Orlando. I don't really think they could win more than one game. So I do agree with you, but I don't know. Like, if they don't get 26 points off the bench from Cole Anthony, they're not going to have any chance of beating Boston. And they certainly, like, Paolo and Franz cannot combine for that, 30 points that they did last night if they want any chance of winning games against the Celtics. That's just not going to happen. So, yeah, I think the Celtics will move on with these. I just thought it was funny. A lot of people were saying that Orlando matched up really well with Boston, and in theory, I agree, but it's just there's such a gap on offense. I don't really think they have a chance. All right, so I think for me in this game, I like the Bulls. Miami, they just haven't. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, man. It just doesn't feel like a Miami Heat team to me. And the Chicago Bulls, notably this season, are 3-0 against the Miami Heat. And I think the key factor of that stat right there, Bulls 3-0 against the Heat, I think the key for that is Jimmy Butler did not play in any of those 3 games. And I think ultimately that's going to be the difference here. The Miami Heat of the past few seasons, when we got into the play-in or the playoffs, it's kind of like we could just bail out and just default bet on them because of Eric Spoelstra and Jimmy Butler. And they just don't have Jimmy Butler anymore. And I think that's a really big factor for them. They're relying on a lot of young players that I don't know how they're going to hold up in their first time in like a must-win game scenario. So I like the Bulls. The Bulls have honestly, over the last month, played as good or better than the Heat. So I'm fine. And we talked about it yesterday. Home teams have won, over 75% of these play-in games. Both the home teams won yesterday. I'm kind of fine just defaulting to the home teams, especially in these close spreads. And the Heat in general have not been a great road team this season either. So I like the Bulls to win this game. And The play that I like specifically within the game, I think Kobe White is gonna have to have a big game offensively, obviously. But I think this is a really big Nikola Vucevic spot. He's played well against the Heat in the past. I don't even think that, in my opinion, they're probably going to start the game out with Khalil Ware on Vooch and use Bam in other creative ways. So I think that's a plus. I think he could potentially maybe, get Ware in foul trouble, but I think it's a really, really good matchup for him individually. And he's been on fire. Like, if we look at just his recent games, like over the last, basically even since Levine got traded, like I'll just look since April, right? So we'll go back to April 1st, 22 and 10, 31 and 12, 16 and 11, 20 and 11, 15 and 12. One of those games was against the Heat, the 20 and 11 with 8 assists. Really, really big stat line. And then he played the Heat back on February 4th, and he had 12 and 11, so another double-double. And then the first matchup against the Heat was way back in, let me find it. I don't see it. So regardless, good matchup for Vooch. The thing that I want to bet him, though, I was thinking about taking him PRAs over, but this really stuck out to me. I couldn't understand why he's minus 115 for a double-double. He's like minus 135, minus 140 on every other book. So I'm 100% going to be betting Vooch double-double at minus 115. And then I'm going to be on the Bulls to win this game. So those are my 2 picks for the early game. I don't trust Miami. I don't trust them on the road. And I don't really trust them, frankly, without Jimmy Butler. I think that's the big difference for me. In the late game, this game sucks. I mean, I don't think either of these teams are very good. It's kind of a joke of a game. No Kyrie. The Kings have just looked really discombobulated for the last few weeks. I don't know, but I do like the Kings in this game. Again, kind of just defaulting to the home team. I don't really trust Dallas whatsoever. So I'm going to take the Kings minus 4.5. I think that with Malik Monk out, probably going to have to see a big role from Keegan Murray. He's played well in the playoffs before. If you think back to some of those series the Kings have had in recent years against the Golden State Warriors, like Keegan Murray's played very good. So I kind of like him tonight. I was trying to decide if I wanted to take his just points over. It's 11.5 or points plus rebounds. Also could take him 3-pointers, which I think is fine. Like to make 2 threes. I mean, that's pretty juicy. So I probably won't take that, but I don't know. I'll probably just do points for now, but I do like his rebounds too. Like you could do points plus rebounds. I think was at 17. Let me double check. I think it was at 17.5. Yeah. So, I mean, I would be fine with that too, but I'll just put the points in there. And then on the Dallas side, I mean, it's going to have to be Anthony Davis. Not really sure who Sacramento can throw at him. Like they don't have anyone that can really defend him. So as long as he plays and is healthy, he should have a pretty big game, Anthony Davis. So I'm probably not going to bet on it, but just my side from Dallas is just it should be Anthony Davis. But I think the Kings are going to win. Ryan, you like Murray points, rebounds? Yeah, I like that too. Good spot for Keegan Murray. He should have a pretty big game. Overall, though, I think these games are way less exciting than yesterday's. I guess maybe because Memphis and Golden State was the best game. Heat Bulls should be good. I don't really think this late game is going to be very good. I don't think these teams are very good. It's not enjoyable to watch. So hopefully we can just get through this and then get to, the next games. Hawks versus just looking at theoretical matchups here, Hawks versus like whoever wins this. I'll probably if the Bulls win, I'll probably be on the Bulls, to be honest with you. And then Guru, I agree. I don't think the Bulls are a threat versus the Cavs, but I think they could win a game or two. I do agree with that. And then on the West side, I'll I'll probably take Memphis. I would take Memphis over both these teams easily, but we got to make sure Ja is fine. If Ja is not playing well, like healthy, that's obviously a big factor. I mean, I know he came back in the game, but he clearly was struggling. He missed a large chunk of that second half after that happened. So I don't know. We'll see. But assuming Ja plays, I'll take Memphis pretty easily over either of these teams that win tonight. I actually last night grabbed. I didn't have a chance to like give this out, but it was right before the Warriors game last night. I grabbed my first title future, and it was Warriors at 24-1. And I basically took what I was going to bet on it, and I put half of that amount on Warriors 24-1. And then I put the other half on, it was 14-1 on FanDuel, NBA Finals like teams, and it was Warriors versus Celtics. So I kind of split it so that I could make some money even if the Warriors get to the finals and lose. I would definitely think Boston would beat them, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I know they kind of struggled at the end of the game, but I think Golden State might be the second best team in the West, to be honest with you. And this is coming from me, who was critical of the Jimmy Butler trade, because I told you guys straight up, if they don't win the title this year, that trade is stupid. But I actually think they're the second best team in the West right now. And I think like it's pretty telling if we look at this here that they're minus 188 to beat the Rockets in the series. So they're probably going to beat the Rockets in the series. And then if we get in a situation where it's Warriors Lakers, I don't know what's going to happen. I think it would be absolutely awesome. So first title future for me, I took Warriors 24-1, and then I wonder see if it's still yeah, right here. So it was 14-1 last night, it's still 12-1. I just took Celtics Warriors. So half my bet went on the Warriors, half went on this. But yeah, so that's my only title future right now. We'll be adding some more stuff once we get through this play-in stuff. We'll be adding some series bets. I wanted to say like I was going to be on the Warriors, but I'm just not laying this number. So, maybe the -1.5 would be the play for me there. Honestly, it probably will be. So I'll probably play Warriors -1.5. I'll probably play Clippers over the Nuggets. As you can see, this already moved. Like this was +102 the last few days on stream. Monday and Tuesday, I was talking about it. Now they're -118. But I'll definitely be playing the Clippers and the Warriors in some capacity. Probably will stay away from this and just see what happens. Probably will stay away from this. Probably will bet the Pacers in some capacity here. And I don't know. I'm not going to bet on that series. We'll see. Lakers number 1. I mean, I'll say the Thunder are number 1. Like, I don't really trust the Thunder in a playoff series. Like, I don't think the Thunder are going to win the title. I don't even think the Thunder are going to go to the finals. And I could be wrong because they're a very good team, but I just really don't trust them right now. So I would but I'd still give them the benefit of the doubt. They're still the best team. So I would say Thunder number 1, and then Lakers and Warriors are the next 2 best teams in the West. I think you're debating between them. So them in a playoff series, it would be so fun. I really, really hope we get that. I think that'd be awesome. And honestly, I'd probably hedge a little bit and bet on the Lakers since I have these Warriors futures now. I'd probably bet Lakers in that series just as like a little bit of a hedge. But overall, that about does it for today. As you can see on the side there, I love Vooch double-double tonight. I like the Bulls to win. I like the Kings to win. And I think Keegan Murray can have a big game as well. If you missed the golf picks, I'll tweet them out later, so don't worry about that. You can go back and rewatch, but I'll tweet the golf card later on. Tomorrow, we'll talk, obviously, some more NBA recap stuff. I want to talk some NFL draft, working on my mock draft and stuff. So we'll talk about that as well. And we'll get into some baseball talk as well. It should be some day baseball tomorrow that we could talk about too. So overall, thank you guys for tuning in today. Good luck with your bets tonight. Hopefully we have some more success tonight and compared to last night. And I'll see everybody tomorrow at 11.